Appearance of before and after. Um, Time is accident of motion. What does it mean? What does he mean? This author. What's his name? Forgot his name. But anyway, Aristotle. So accident. I don't think he's using it as a philosophical term accident, uh, as in the distinction between substance and accident. So motion. I mean, we can say that both for both Plato and I'm just trying to think it through, and Aristotle. Um, Firstly, motion is some sort of what's the word I'm using? Some sort of defect. Yeah, that's the word I'm using. Looking for defect, because in eternal world for both of them, which is in a way real world for both of them in their own way, there's no motion. So that's why for both of them, eternity. I'm just thinking eternity is a different form of time, which is not connected to motion in a way. So they are both talking here time as a phenomenal time, or time as related to our natural world. So in that sense, if Plato says that time is, did he say motion is time is the accident of motion? Or let me check. Yes, he says time is accident of motion. So we can read it as similar to how we read Plato, because that without motion we won't have time. So we can say that for Aristotle, time is an accident of motion. He might mean that our perception of time, or our time, as against eternity, is linked to, or intrinsically linked to, our experience of and perception of motion and change. So without motion and change, we won't have time in the normal sense of the word for both Plato and Aristotle, I think. So from this we can say that for Aristotle, time is not motion itself. They are different, because somewhere in physics he says that time is the number of motion. It's not motion itself. In physics he says time is the number of motion with respect to before and after. So from this we can say that time, although it's not motion itself, in a way we can say that time is a measure of motion for him, motion for Aristotle. But time is not motion itself. That's first. Time is not motion itself, meaning that he distinguishes. Aristotle distinguishes time from motion. Distinguishes time from motion. Okay, and so, for example, a motion can be faster and slower, but time itself is uniform in a way. For Aristotle, I think, because it is a number. On the other, and also motion is specific to the thing which is moving, but time is um, everywhere. But we can say that time is generated by motion. Without motion, there won't be any time in our sense of it. Okay, that's the first thing, and that brings to us to the second point about Aristotle, that time um, is dependent on motion. So without motion and change, there is no time for Aristotle. Okay, and the third point, I already said that time is the measure of the motion for. It's a number of the, as he says, number of the motion. Okay, so I think it's these are the points which came out of our discussion. So um, so in that sense, motion is prior to time. So in that sense, time is accident, or motion shouldn't be taking as. But it is true that without motion there won't be time. In that sense, time is an accident of motion in this particular sense. So for Aristotle, time begins with non-cease time as an accident of motion which emerges from the experience of before and after. When we do perceive a before and after, then we say that there is time. For time is just this, a number of motion respect to before. Yeah. Okay, so that is it for Aristotle. So probably we'll stop here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا مولانا محمد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. يا رب العالمين.